Okay, get the speaker ready. My light, right? The camera's on and popping. Welcome back to the greatest show on YouTube, Emperor Atheist channel, with your host, Emperor Atheist. Today's topic is about one of your favorite characters of all comic book lore, as Jesus Christ. Basically, the name of this video is Jesus Christ Slept Through Slavery. What do you mean, Emperor? Jesus Christ slept through slavery? on the given point that even if Jesus even existed, then during slavery, specifically the slave trade of America with African slaves, 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, specifically that particular time, he was definitely asleep. I don't know if he was high on cocaine, weed, or what, but he definitely was asleep all those centuries. I've made particular videos, and we've had very long discussions pertaining slavery in the Bible. I even debated people on Steve's channel, on different people's channel, on a Three Black Heathens show channel, how the Bible and this particular God actually upholds slavery, never condemned slavery once in the Bible. Jesus never condemned slavery, not once in the New Testament. And that's pretty strange for a God and a demigod like Jesus to claim to love everyone and to be, you know, of equality of all humans, which we know that's BS. But not one time do Jesus ever condemn slavery or God ever condemn slavery. We know during the so-called Old Testament, all through the Old Testament, the Israelites were all pro-slavery. Everybody was basically pro-slavery. This particular God gave out all type of rules for slavery, for slaves, and how to treat slaves, how to treat Hebrew slaves, compared to other slaves of other nations, which we've been through that. And the New Testament follows it up with Paul's teaching, Colossians, Galatians, all through these particular New Testament, basically upholds slavery and basically shows it's an outdated, stupid book. So why do I say Jesus was asleep? Well, it's simple. We look at the history of it. We look at the history of the Bible. We look at the history of the world, period. There's no way that a God of the Bible, who you would consider to be omnibenevolent or omniscient or omnipotent, there's no way that a being like this exists. And if he does exist, then he really doesn't care. He can't be omnibenevolent. He definitely is not all love. And he can't be omniscient either. Because a God that would be all-knowing would have seemed to have stopped some of these things that was happening to people. But obviously not. And before I continue on, I want to thank all of my new subscribers, all of my new followers. I appreciate the love. And please continue and hit the like button and continue to share all of my videos. So yes, I want to read a few. I want to say this, and this is very important. I said this before. And this is funny how the new Christian movement actually try to defend this particular imaginary God and all of the evil in the world. And they try to actually defend this, and I've talked about this, and I've made different videos dealing with theodicy, dealing with free will defense, and so on, and also dealing with the particular attributes that Christian theology specifically gives to their particular God, which I just mentioned: omnibenevolent, omniscient, and omnipotent, and how these particular titles, these particular qualifiers actually contradict each other, and they can't exist. And it particularly makes that particular deity a square circle, as I always say. It's a major contradiction. We know square circles don't exist. Pi doesn't equal 319, but this is what their God equals. Their God doesn't equal literally anything. Because it's basically a non-existent God, I would say. But when we understand history, and this is, I have to keep saying this, man. You black Christians, man, you are sickening to me. You're very sickening. For a black Christian, particularly a black Christian who claims to be intelligent, who claims to be free thinkers, because you actually have Christians who actually call themselves free thinkers. I don't know if they really understand what free thinkers mean. But they use the term. They say, yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm a free thinker. To be a so-called black Christian free thinker, you are really embarrassing to us to actually believe in Christianity, to accept Christianity, especially if you understand the history of Christianity, specifically with black people. How can you be a Christian when we understand the history and we understand how slave masters, the whole institution of slavery, the institution that was called a peculiar institution, was actually backed by the Bible? When you look at most Christian slaveholders back then, and most of the slaveholders in the South at that time were Christian, probably 99% of them. They used the Bible to actually back, because some people say, well, how could they be Christian and rationalize their religious views? It was easy. It was easy because the Bible backed them up. It wasn't nothing hard to do. It wasn't nothing that they had to go wrestle with, or pray about, because the God of the Bible ordained it. It was through prophecy. And one of the first ones they particularly used, which is really jacked up theology, which most theology is still jacked up, even amongst the best theologians today. But particularly one of the main ones they use come from Genesis when we talk about Abraham, this fictional character, which we have no historicity of, and his three sons, which we know as Japheth, Ham, and Shem. And everybody know the story of Noah. He was drunk. He liked the Patron or whatever he liked. I don't know. Corn liquor, whatever he was drinking. But he got drunk. And Ham, some kind of way. Of course, the Bible is not really clear on what it means by him sawing his nakedness. Some people have even went to the point to say he touched him and had sex with his father. I don't know. The script don't necessarily say that, but I wouldn't doubt it. But all of these particular things have been said about this particular verse. But in retrospect, then they say, when Shem and Japheth seen it, they walked backwards and covered their father up, and then Noah woke from his sleep and he knew what his son had did. Now, how he know what his son had did, I don't know. It didn't say Shem and Japheth told him anything. He just woke up and knew. Just a ridiculous, stupid story. But anyway, he wake up and say he knew that Ham had seen his nakedness. So instead of him cursing Ham, he curses Ham's son. Not all of his sons, just one. Really stupid. Canaan. Okay, but this is the thing though. It was so theologically jacked up. The idea, actually, some kind of way, the story or the belief, the theological belief, just took Canaan all the way out of the picture, and it made the curse be on Ham, which he didn't curse Ham. But I'm just telling you how Christians don't really know their Bible. Over the centuries, they never really knew their Bible. They say Ham was cursing. So Ham was black. So the curse of Ham, him being black skinned, and this is where the Africans come from. They come from Ham. And this is why the Africans come from Ham. And this is why they're black, because Ham was cursed because he saw the nakedness of Noah. Now, of course, this is stupid and it makes no sense. And, of course, we have no historicity of a Ham, Shem, or Japheth. These people, 9 times out of 10, not real people. But the point of the matter is the thinking. And I want to read, matter of fact, let me find this verse. Let me just do that. It's actually in Genesis, I think it's Genesis 9 or 10. Genesis 9, yeah. Genesis 9, 18 through 25. I'm just going to read this. It says, and the sons of Noah that went forth from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. So the person who was writing this already knew something was going to happen with Canaan. So the person who wrote this story, I don't know how he got this information. Who knows? It said, and the Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the 3 sons of Noah. And of them was the whole world overspread. What stop? And Noah began to be a husbandman. Stupid, right? And he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine, and was drunken. And he was uncovered within his tent, and Ham, the father of Canaan again, just stressing that, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his 2 brethren without. And without meaning they went inside the tent, okay? And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward, and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward. And they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, cursed be Canaan. Then curse Ham, and curse Canaan, who obviously wasn't even born at this time, probably. A servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, blessed be the Lord of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. No, he didn't, but that's what it says. So these particular ignorant white slaveholders, Christian slaveholders, they said, well, it was ordained by God. Ham was the Africans, so we're supposed to put them in slavery because Ham saw the nakedness of his father. So God ordained this. This is how these ignorant white slaveholders were thinking. And now we have these ignorant black Christians who still don't understand this. And then, you know, the thing about it, when you go, even some people, well, that's the Old Testament. No. Go to the New Testament. And actually, when you read Ephesians, I think it's Ephesians 6, verse, yes, it is Ephesians 6, is that it? Yes, Ephesians 6, 5 through 7. I want to read that. This is Paul, the Apostle Paul. We don't know who the hell Paul was either. But anyway, I'm going to read the letter that they attributed to him. It says in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 5 through 7, it says, servants, be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh. According to the flesh. With fear and trembling. So this is Paul telling servants, really slaves. This Greek word is not servants. This Greek word is sova. It really means slave. It's telling them to be obedient to them that are your masters according to the flesh with fear and trembling. Not God, but this is to men. With fear and trembling. In singleness of your heart as unto Christ. Not with eye service. In other words, don't look at them crazy when they say something stupid. Just be a humble little dummy robot. A lot of stuff these Uncle Tom Negroes do now. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart, with good will doing service as to the Lord and not to man, knowing that whatsoever good thing any man doeth, the same shall he receive of the Lord, whether he be bond or free. That's terrible. And of course, Paul repeated himself, basically word for word, when you go to the 3rd chapter of Colossians. It's basically the same thing he's saying in the 3rd chapter of his letter to the Colossians. So when we look at the New Testament, and there's a million other New Testament verses and Old Testament verses where you can actually show pro-slave. I did a video on it. I'll probably do another one, just to recap. But when you actually particularly look at the Old Testament, I mean, it's particularly nothing but pro-slavery propaganda, pro-slavery politics. New Testament, pro-slavery, like Paul telling you to submit to men and fear them and tremble because Christ, you know, you want to show Christ that you can do this. This is ignorant shit. It's very ignorant. So the question is, if we see, obviously, that the New Testament upholds slavery, the Old Testament upholds slavery, Jesus never condemned slavery. Paul never condemned slavery. As a matter of fact, in one of Paul's letters, he actually sent the slave back to his master instead of letting him be free. So these people were not anti-slavery. They were not, they didn't believe in equality of humans. Obviously not. They believed that there was a sect of people that was better than the other. So if Jesus is real, and according to my great friend, Dr. Richard Carey, he's definitely not. And Robert Price, he's not real. If this is the case, if he's even real, then he had to be asleep during slavery. He was asleep. So I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say Jesus was on some real knockout pills. I don't know, something that was probably stronger, you know, than Lortabs and stronger than anything that we got now. Stronger than oxycodone. He had some strong stuff for those centuries. And he was knocked out like a light, you know, like Drake say, like a light, you know. So this is the only thing that can make sense of this. Jesus either had to be very, very asleep, or he just didn't care about your ancestors. He didn't care about black slaves. He don't care about no slaves. He don't care about nobody. Obviously, we can just get off into a whole nother video of this. He don't care about nothing. He don't care about all the children that dies every year of cancer, all type of cancers in the hospitals. Just go visit one. Go visit a hospital, a children's hospital, and see all the deaths every year. Just go see it. I've done it twice. It's a terrible sight. You don't see any of these fake pastors in there actually healing nobody, putting their hand on nobody, and the doctor coming back saying, hey, this cancer's gone. You only see that in the churches. You know why? Because it's fake. Christianity is fake. Islam is fake. Your God is fake. And you want to debate me on it? Let's debate. Let's debate about your miracles and your fake prayers, your fake ideas about some God that loves everyone. Let's debate it. Once again, thanks for watching. I'm the Emperor Atheist. I'm out. Peace.